My phone makes the little brant noise. That will then let me know whether this is or is not working. It's just freaking 81 degrees out. It's the middle of September.
Yep.
Boo! Is it just me or is OBS brighter too? Like,
I've always told you that.
Necro knows everything. He's the best person in the world, isn't he?
He doesn't listen to me.
King of the freaking Martians, ain't he?
He doesn't listen to me.
Try to get better programming. What's he do? Oh, it's useless. Just stick with OBS.
No, I never said that.
Mm,
It's just I point out other things and nobody listens.
What?
Exactly.
What's he saying?
Exactly.
Okay, so do we have anything?
Oh.
Bloody hell! Why not? Okay, I'm gonna pop Google on for. Oh, wait. Mine just screamed at me. Oh, mine just screamed at me twice. Oh, and of course the screen freezes. Oh, there we go. We're back. And we're not back. And we're back. And we're not back. And we're back. And squirrel pudding. I don't know if that'd actually be good. I've had a lot of puddings before, but squirrel pudding, I don't know if that would be. I don't know if that'd be something I'd want to see. Let's see. New hold potential and appropriate messages. Not now. All right. Well, according to this, I can see myself. Hi world, and I'm frozen. Hi world again. It's my eye.
I still haven't got anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, this is weird. I'm just gonna watch the recording until I wave my hands. See, and now it's saying we don't have enough information going to be smooth, and now we have a reset, and all this crap happens again. Yay! And you say you have absolutely nothing.
I got it finally.
You got it now? Alright. So there, I'm finally waving. I'm Xing that out. Okay, so. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, and thank you for joining us once again, the Modemsters of Gaming. I'm Kaiju, just can't seem to get these live streams running, K. With me here is Roadblock Bohn. And the mighty Necro of Nicks.
What up?
And welcome to, what is this, the 28th episode?
Yeah.
Our 28th live stream. We have almost at 2,500 viewers, which means once we reach views. Thank you. Once we reach 2,500, Subliminal will actually show his face to the world. But tonight, we have a different kind of live stream going on here. We're just going to start talking. That's basically it, folks. Necro's
That's a rant, motherfuckers.
Necro, of course, he couldn't go 5 minutes without cursing. So Necro's back there. He's going to be reading your comments. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about, just feel free. We're just going to begin randomly talking about stuff. My personal thing I'm going to start talking about is this abnormal friggin' weather we're having here in PA.
Fucking A, does it suck.
Now, you and I might not be able to tell with what Roadblock's wearing, but it is friggin' hot. It is hot. It's 81 degrees right now, and it is currently 19:30 at night.
Well, that's because I'm in the room.
Ow! And he's single, ladies. And so's Necro. He's still back there. See? He's single.
Quit poking me in the head.
So, folks, this weather is just getting unruly. We also had some serious hurricanes hit the coast recently.
Yep.
We lost track of one of our favorite viewers, one of our friends. Was it Rin? Rin. I always screw up her name. I want to call her Ree for some reason.
Rin Gile.
We always, we found out that Rin's doing okay, so that's cool and everything like that. But more hurricanes are coming in, and they're just crushing. I mean, my heart goes out to everyone who lives out in the small island chains around Cuba. the Dominican Republic, everything like that. Oh my goodness, they got smashed by the last storm. And now we're having this heat wave where we're supposed to see close to 90 degrees by the end of the week. It's September. I'm supposed to be seeing leaves falling off trees, and I'm supposed to be wearing a sweater and just be like, it's not that cold. And it's like, what the f people?
You forgot the most important thing of all, though.
What?
Pumpkin spice.
Oh, and pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
But I have to say one thing.
What's that?
I have to admit it right now.
What's up?
As of today, there are only 15 more Fridays until Christmas.
Did you hear that, Nick? How many? How many?
15! 15 Fridays.
15 more Fridays.
Yepers, I can't wait. Ooh. And Necro, he still hasn't made his Christmas list.
You're hoping Santa Claus brings you something good, Nick?
No.
No?
You see, a lot of people used to tell me, if you're bad, Santa Claus will give you coal, but now that I've lived my life as an adult, a bunch of coal would actually help out the fuel problem. And you get coal in your stocking. Oh, that's like 3 days right there. Thanks, Santa.
And you just tie it up in a sock and it's just a homemade weapon.
Now give me the rest of the bags and the deer don't get it. Or I'm going to have Rudolph jerky and see if it makes my nose glow.
I actually had a friend of mine. I used to work with him over at in Whitehaven.
Mm-hmm.
Like he genuinely believes that Santa Claus actually exists.
He does.
I'm
watching.
Listen, I'm not familiar. No, he actually like believes that there's a guy, this like mystical red guy, comes rooftop to rooftop checking on people in a reindeer sled. Because
Children, watch this.
What? I don't care. Okay, fine.
A quick shout out to all of my sisters, 3rd and 4th graders who may be watching this. Hi, everybody.
I'm sorry. Spoilers.
Alright, just. But hey, I mean, there's weirder things. I mean, did you know?
No, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, look at the facts. I mean, Smokey the Bear, who's by the way going to be in a future death battle against Scruff McGruff. I kid you not.
Scruff McGruff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
He actually he didn't just have a P.O. box, he had his own zip code. Alright? Santa Claus gets 5-6 million letters a year sent to his mailbox. And the worst part is, the mail company has to, by law, deliver the letters. By law! Could you imagine that? The Santa Claus guy better freaking answer the door this time!
Gotta send them all to the North Pole on carrier.
That's the reason there's all the global warming and everything like that. It's just a big mountain.
It's just a big mountain of paper. It's just covering.
Well, what everyone thinks is a big mountain of snow, no, it's just letters. Just friggin' letters everywhere.
That's why the polar bears are going extinct, because they're eating the fucking letters, getting the ink, glue poisoning.
They finally got those letters back from the day that were laced with anthrax, that kind of stuff.
And they get all the crazy presents too, the ones that are like bombs and like the anthrax.
Speaking of crazy presents, it's also the time of year where Nightmare Before Christmas begins popping its head out everywhere.
I was gonna say, I saw on Facebook about a few days ago that they're planning on doing a remake.
They're planning on doing a remake and a sequel. Yeah, but the problem is they don't want to make the remake and sequel in claymation.
So what are they? Wait, it's gonna be all 3D.
All 3D CGI.
I can see that. I actually do agree with him, because I don't think that
it's the year of remakes. That's the problem. Nobody wants to try anything new. Being new, let's just remake everything.
Yeah, and I share the feelings though that like you shouldn't. Okay, if you want to do a sequel, fine, then do a sequel. All right, but leave the original alone. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you don't need to remake something that's already a classic within its own right.
Well, I fully agree with it on that, and I agree. Like, when they tried to remake Rocky Horror Picture, it completely was just destroyed. They won't air it anymore. It was just destroyed by the people. People were threatening to find the producers and kill them. When they mentioned a few years back they were going to make the remake of Jaws, there were people that were surrounding the studios, not letting people in. even though it was only a statement that they wanted to. They weren't letting people in. That's how angry people were. Leave cult classics the fuck alone.
Yep.
I don't know about going that far, but yeah, I still would think, like, you know, look, there's nothing, like, was there anything wrong, like, because I've never really watched The Nightmare Before Christmas. My only experience with it is through Kingdom Hearts.
Well, to be honest with you, it's a lot better through Kingdom Hearts, but it's also two sides of the coin here. I felt it was an okay movie. It wasn't anything special. Basically, some spoiler alerts. Tall, lanky motherfucker got jealous of somebody else, wanted to take their holiday, and screwed it up. There's the storyline. However, Necro loves it, so I mean, I can't really shoot it down, you know? It's like me and Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah, it's just like, you leave it's good enough as it is. Just leave it the fuck alone, you know? Just go make a sequel. You don't need to do a remake. Just go make your fucking sequel bomb.
You know, what they need to do is they need to go through and find all the movies that did bomb and remake those.
Yep. What's Jack gonna do? Like, what's he gonna learn in this video?
Well,
What holiday is he gonna try to fuck up this?
Well, according to what I'm told from the idea of part 2, it's, of course, Jack and Sally have had a son. I don't want to begin explaining to you how that works. I'm pretty sure they're going to explain that they dug up parts and stitched them together or something like that.
Dr. Finkelstein.
Yeah, maybe it's Finkelstein who did it. But anyway, apparently because Jack stepped out of the boundaries, he broke some kind of ancient rule, so he's supposed to get taken into court.
Oh, the taboo.
Yeah, apparently it's up to his son to go and talk to Santa into forgiving Jack and telling everybody that it wasn't that bad. That's the thesis. That's the idea. Jack's going to be in the movie for about 20 minutes. Sally's going to be in the movie for even less than that, because that's just what her character's there for. Mm-hmm. She's there for expedition fodder, and his son's going to be the new main character. All in glorious CGI. It's not like they couldn't ruin any other characters. I mean, let's see here. Wonder Woman. Oh, yeah, you know. Here's Wonder Woman, by the way. One of the most powerful of DC's heroes. Capable of going one-on-one with Superman. And they basically turned her into, and I'm apologizing when I say this, but a slut. It's only 20 minutes. You're not even 20 minutes into the movie, and she's already banging some guy. She's a virgin Amazon who wants to save herself for the strongest man, and here she is banging some guy in a boat.
I don't really have anything against superheroes fucking. Like,
I don't either, but it's just like,
fine.
You know, this was the guy that's supposed to end up becoming her husband at one point. And she's supposed to, I mean, according to all the comic books, you know, she saves herself for him. And this is her, that's not dancing, I'll show you dancing, and then she,
yeah.
grabbed him with the lasso of truth and asked him what he wanted to do to her.
I don't...
Hey, advertisement for all the young ladies out there, huh?
Yeah, I really don't see the issue, though. I mean, because in certain movies, yeah, you're going to have scenes like that. You know, you're going to have scenes that, you know, you're going to say, okay, yeah, I could see this character doing. And then another scene where it's just like, all right, this clearly isn't for me. I didn't come here to see Wonder Woman get banged. I came here to see Wonder Woman be Wonder Woman.
Well, you see, that's where the big issue with all the superhero movies have been coming out with, well, at least for DC.
Right.
Marvel's been getting them really good, but DC not. And here's the thing. A lot of the people that are still kicking that go to see these movies are unfortunately geeks like me, who've read the comic books, who've watched the cartoon series and everything like that. And the problem is, just like with some of these remakes, we come expecting A, we get B. We're disappointed as crap. I mean, it could be the best one. Excuse you? Are you a critic now? Are you a critic now, huh? You are not a critic. You are not a critic, no. Ow, my nose.
But I still heard that the movie did relatively well.
Oh, well, it's their most successful movie so far.
Right.
Which is still, I think it's still half of what the least successful Marvel was. But
like, okay, with the changes aside, though, like, do you, like, in your opinion, do you still think that the movie is still good to stand on its own?
It's okay. It wasn't what they...
Okay?
It was okay. I mean, I'd say go see it.
Go see it.
Go see it. I'm just saying, like once again, though, from a perspective, I mean, if you're going to Wonder Woman to expect to see Wonder Woman kick some ass and take some names, choose it. But if you're expecting her to follow any type of storyline, and folks, if you want to see something cool, go watch the movie critic's example of how he ruined the entire movie. It's actually hilarious. But he proved that they couldn't have reached England in time. their boat was too slow, basically. But you know, when you come there expecting to see Wonder Woman, this woman who flies around and can leap tall buildings and block bullets with her hands and basically just crush people. She can bench press a bus with her freaking pinky toe, and here she is just running into combat for... She's trying to find Ares.
That's good.
She knows where he is.
Yeah.
You can see it, but she's just like, I can't see Ares, even though there's this giant glowing fucking light in the distance of death and damnation. He could be anywhere out there in that war. Glowing light of death. Here comes Nick running in his costume as Captain Common Sense. There! He's there! Just runs off screen. That's Necro right there.
Isn't that... Well, we made a better comic book movie. Where it was just us, where I play the villain.
Yeah. No, I was the villain. You were the hero.
Yeah, I was the hero.
You were getting trained, but we were both trained wrong.
I was hitting the trout.
The all-fish diet.
But the way me and Kyle have to look at superhero movies is nowadays as if they're not superhero movies.
Yeah.
Because they don't go by the comics which we're used to. They're trying to appeal to both comic book lovers and regular people.
What I would like to see is I'd like to see them go after some lesser-known comic book heroes.
Yeah.
Well, they have, right? I mean, that's why the whole Guardians of the Galaxy came from.
Well, actually, the Guardians of the Galaxy's had a pretty good run, but they were a sideline character, I will agree.
And then there's the Defenders that are on Netflix, which they're saying, from what I've read, they were saying it's not bad either, you know.
It's not bad, but it's not for people who've read the comics. That's what they're saying.
Well, to me, it's all build up until you reach, I think, episode 5, 6, when they finally come together, and then shit speeds up.
And then they hold hands, they believe in their friendship, and they beat Queen Beryl. Oh, wait, sorry. I was thinking about Sailor Moon there for a second. But what I'm talking about is, like, there's the Justice League movie that's coming out, and, you know, a lot of people are excited for it. If you take away the fact that a lot of the leading key role characters aren't going to exist in it. You know, there's no Martian Manhunter, there's no Superman, there's no Apache Chief, there's no Black Vulcan, or Black Lightning, as he's now being called.
It's Super Vulcan.
Or Super Vulcan from Birdman. Space Ghost. I want to see a Space Ghost movie. Space Ghost lasted for over a decade. They can make a movie out of that crap.
Space Ghost.
And as long as Michael Bay promises not to touch it, I'd like to see him make a Voltron movie. But Michael Bay is not even allowed on set. He's ruined every giant robot movie he's ever done.
Oh, you know he's gonna go after Voltron.
He can't. I will find the man and I will end him.
He's gonna get it. I know he's just gonna get it. And then Megan Fox is gonna be the girl, the lead.
Please no. Please no. At least have some semblance of dignity. She's already wearing a skin-tight suit as a blonde princess. Just give her some more dignity. Don't make her Megan Fox.
It's gonna be Megan Fox.
No,
no. Blonde wig.
I can think of a dozen other actresses that would beat it.
And then it's just gonna be 70% of just the U.S. military just coming together, and then it's just going to be like 5 minutes of Voltron or the Lions just moving in and doing stuff.
That's like every fucking movie they're making nowadays.
Or the woman that played... No,
I think you have a good right. I mean, Emma Watson has always played a regal, intelligent character. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, but if I remember correctly, I believe the Voltron princess was British as well. Although it's never explained why, out in the middle of the galaxy, she's the only person who's British. Even her father speaks perfect straight English, but she's British. I never understood that.
Probably from her mother's side.
You never meet her mom. I mean,
wasn't her nanny though like Cockney? Like, had a Cockney accent.
Might have been, yeah. That might be it. But I mean, you got
her servant maiden or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
You got the 5 main characters.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the short, nerdy one. You have the fat one.
Although
you have the brave one. Mm-hmm. Then you have the cocky one. Then you have the girl who's in pink. I don't know why it's always pink, but she's pink. Even though I believe she runs around in the Blue Lion. I never understood that one either.
Touche.
But when it comes down to it, it's such a simple premise for a movie that a good example is if you've ever seen Pacific Rim. Mm-hmm. It had a nice balance of fight scenes and story. I mean, it's not the best movie.
I regretfully haven't seen Pacific Rim.
Oh, well.
I think I watched some of it, but not all of it.
It's not the best movie. I watch it because I'm a kaiju and I like watching kaiju flicks. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't that bad. It had some nice pacing, good fights, and everything like that. I think that director could really pull out and make Voltron. On the other hand, you could play Michael Bay, who spends 70% of the movie complaining and making huge, dark decisions that are the same in every fucking movie. Watch Nostalgia Critic. You'll get the understanding there. And if it isn't, it's 5 minutes of fight scenes where they're so up close and jumbled and there's just explosions everywhere. He's got a hard-on for Dynamite. I don't know. I've never seen a Michael Bay movie I've liked. He ruined Ninja Turtles. How do you ruin Ninja Turtles? Their storyline isn't exactly difficult. It's been done 1,000,000 times. When a cartoon that is done, what is it? I believe they said the entire first season of the one that's on Nickelodeon, which is a 3D one, costs the entire season, by the way, cost the entire studio a fourth of what the first movie did, and it got better ratings. When you're beat out by a cartoon show, it's time to start putting your head down, you know.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, but the shows have always been better than the movies, right? I mean, well, except for the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah. And the first 15 minutes of the second. Mm-hmm. I just love the mall fight scene.
Yeah, but the thing is, box office-wise, they always make more of the movie.
Well, it's like he said. He actually said in a live interview, he doesn't care how bad the movies are, you'll fucking go see them and pay for them. He literally said this.
Yeah, and I feel, though, he did make a minor point about that, but I mean...
Oh, no, he made a great point. He did. He's basically saying, I could plaster Transformers on anything, as long as my name was on it, and I could do the entire thing in stop motion with the little robot figures, and you'd still come and see it. You'd still come and see it, and he's right. Because that's how jaded the people are. They will go and see a movie just because it says something like that.
Yeah, because it's the only thing of, like, giant robot movies that can't contain Transformers. Like, nobody can't take, like, another Transformers idea, you know, just, like, and go their own direction with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't, like, they always have to be like, okay, well, only Transformers can be about giant robots. We can't do anything more, like another Pacific Rim, so to speak. You know, where we can just go with our own giant transforming robot movie. You know what I'm saying?
Well, right. And that's what I'm kind of looking at. Like, I'm looking at what they're doing nowadays. Nowadays, they're either bringing the old shows back,
right,
making movies out of them, or making remakes. So that's why I'm looking at some of the older shows, saying which one of these older shows would be great live action. Like, I'd like to. Static Shock would be amazing.
I'm surprised they haven't made Static Shock a DC.
I know, and there's plenty of actors who could play him.
Oh, yeah.
The best thing about Static Shock, and Necro even agreed, is unlike most superheroes, he's a lot more believable. He has the same problems we do, you know? I mean, obviously, other than having the electrical capabilities and being attacked by bang babies, like, he has no money, he lives in a poor neighborhood, he has to go work for a living, he's got a stern father that's never happy with him. You know, he's got a best friend who's basically the neighborhood geek that everyone picks on, and he's got to back him up and be like, no, we're cool and everything like that. You know, he grows up throughout the entire series, and you get to see it. And that's pretty cool about it. I like the fact that Static Shock actually grew as a character.
Yeah.
Look at all the other superheroes, though. I mean, a lot of people are like, well, what about Peter Parker? Well, what about him? He went from nerd to jock. He was more ripped than any other fucking character in that show.
Yeah, and, you know, just like what they did in, like, the Homecoming movie, like, people already know what Peter Parker's origin story is. They don't need another remake with an origin story in it.
And it's not going to have one.
And it's not going to have one.
You know, that's the best part about it.
Yeah, so, I mean, people have grown tired of seeing, like, Peter's story, you know.
Well, how many remakes have we had in the past 20 years? Exactly. Oh, no, Peter Parker got bit by a spider, got aggressive.
That would kind of be the only thing, because, in a way, Virgil kind of... I don't know, his story is kind of the same in the aspect where he learns that with great power comes great responsibility. But with him, it's not through the death of a family member, because it already happened.
Right.
His mother died.
Right.
So
it's him growing as a person.
Yeah, it's just him. It's like that scene in the first episode where you see him at the gang fight or whatever, and he gets handed a gun, and and he has a choice, and so he takes the gun and he just tosses it in the ocean. It's like, yeah, this is getting out of hand.
Right. He had a choice. He could either join with this gang and be part of a group, but he could get in trouble for it and make his father hate him, or he could throw the gun away and just be an outcast. He made the right decision. But you see those decisions throughout the entire series, which is what makes it such a great series. Why no one's touched it yet, or, my personal opinion, Batman Beyond.
But then I guess the counter-argument would be, like, it's a good thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, they haven't screwed it up yet, but depending on who got a hold of it, it could be good.
Yeah.
Static Shock is a very, very simplistic hero. He doesn't have a very complex backstory. He doesn't have, like, a million gadgets or anything like that. He's a guy on a manhole cover who shoots static electricity. Not even lightning bolts. Literally, he controls static. He can actually pin you against the wall with a balloon.
Speaking of Spider-Man, though, there is one storyline that I do want to be explored, kind of.
Are we talking about a certain younger 14-year-old Spider-Man?
No, not Miles Morales.
Damn it. Because that's the one I want to see.
Well, I was actually talking about Miguel O'Hara, 2099 Spider-Man. Like, he's pretty much like the Spider-Man version of Batman Beyond, in a way, essentially. Yeah. I would actually like to see a Spider-Man movie based on him.
Pretty cool.
And see his story. You know, because he gets his spider powers in a completely different way than Peter does. Where Peter, it's just a radiation mutation. With him, it's actually just, like, gene modified. Right.
I believe that's actually what happens to Miles, too. I believe it's an experiment by his father. But same idea, though. It's not Peter Parker, though. And, of course, both Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2099 have completely different attitudes than Peter Parker and completely different powers. I mean, they all have the same similar powers, but Miles has the Venom Shocker, I think it's called, where you can basically touch somebody and, like, overload their system with his venom and just, like, fry them. Like, this kid is 14, bisexual, and he's currently dating Flash Thompson. Awesome! I think we're back. Well, in 20 seconds we're back. You're very well spoken for a primeval Native American. You're too kind. Oh no, it's Caveman Guy. Caveman Guy.
Caveman.
And the Lobe.
The Lobe.
And I can't remember the other ones, but there was a snake lady.
Candlestick Jack.
Candlestick Jack. Oh wait, we gotta be careful. We can't say that name. He might come and grab us.
You mean Candlestick Jack?
I said Applejacks. I didn't say Candlestick Jack. Oh! I'm gonna need more rope.
And then there was the serpent lady.
Right.
Where he tried to make her say, now say suffer and succotash.
Then there was the bull who was also a country singer.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, he was like one of those like one-off kind of characters. It's great.
Invisible.
Or what about I'm going back way back, but does anybody remember Godzilla and Godzuki?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, please do not make that come alive. Do not. Please. Begging.
No, the best part.
Begging.
The best part in some of the episodes, Godzuki will be trying to communicate with Godzilla, and then Godzilla will just be like, "Rrr," and then it just smack him out of the way randomly.
I'm still gonna murder his ass. Don't do it. Incoming.
Godzuki. Get Godzilla to calm down. Get out of here, kid.
Yeah. It's Rampage time.
You know, when you couldn't just have a show about Godzilla, you had to have like that goofy sidekick for the kids.
Well, then later on they did try to make Godzilla, but they didn't use the real Godzilla. They used Zilla from the American version, and he was controlled by some kind of chip or something like that. And it's like, yeah. It's like, oh my god, it's the same thing but worse.
Didn't they make a movie where the original Godzilla killed like Godzilla 2000?
Oh yes, Godzilla Tokyo SOS. Zilla shows up, jumps at Godzilla. Godzilla knocks him into the freaking amphitheater and then just blasts him. And it's like, they see the alien like, I knew that tuna breath wasn't worth it. Send the next one. It's like, yes, I finally got vengeance. You deserve to die.
That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish, and that's become such a meme anymore. If I make a movie, there's going to be a scene where somebody's going to say it. Somebody's just going to walk by and be like, "That's a lot of fish."
But yeah, in any case though, like, what would who would you want to direct like a Batman Beyond or a Static Shock movie?
Ooh.
Like
those are tough ones. Batman Beyond.
Yeah, like who would you think would do a good job?
Well, I gotta kind of look at people who have taken ideas of futuristic, series. I kind of actually want to see if maybe we could get the gentleman who did was it Dread, where he was woken up in the future, or was that Demolition Man?
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, because they made a pretty interesting looking city.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept really close to the storyline and everything. That's a good one. The guy who just recently did Dread ought to be able to do it pretty well, because he did a pretty good movie. I like Dread. I know a lot of people didn't like Dread, but I like Dread. It was pretty cool.
Was it they made a remake of the Judge Dredd?
It's actually a prequel.
Oh, a prequel.
And they actually did it really fucking well. It was really well done.
Was it still Sylvester Stallone?
No, it was somebody else.
I am
the law. You can't arrest me. I am the law. It's like, excuse me, the law. I don't understand. The law. I'm not catching you.
You violated the law.
Can I get a translator for this crap? What? I'm not getting paid enough for this. As for Static Shock, that's the difficult one, because Static Shock is a multiple layered idea. You have to have Virgil having the home life, the school life, and fighting the Bang Babies. Because you can't skip out on any of those, because those are what built the character. That's the problem. He wasn't like Batman, who you could have an entire episode of it just being nighttime and him going after bad guys.
Although, like, and here's the thing, and this is just my opinion, alright? But I think the guy who did, like, the Daredevil Netflix show, I think he would be good. At least with a Batman Beyond, because you want, that touch of, like, that grittiness, and that...
Yeah, but the problem with Batman Beyond is they live in basically a utopian society. Everything's bright and shiny.
Well, I would just say like, okay, the sets don't have to necessarily reflect darkness.
The storyline does, though.
The storyline does, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, when it comes to sets, they have different people that handle that. They have different people that handle, backgrounds and everything like that. Like, I'm just saying, and as like a story, like a directional type of thing, I would say, is it like something Cameron?
Kirk Cameron
or something like that. Yeah, the guy who does Buffy.
Yeah,
Buffy, yeah. So I mean, I could see him doing it. I can see him pulling it off.
The thing is, I think Static Shock is still loved enough, yet still vague enough for people to go see and not expect a lot. He didn't have a big comic books running compared to other superheroes. I mean, I'm pretty sure they probably still come out with them every now and then.
Yeah.
Unlike heroes that have been around forever, like Batman, Superman, the Tick. These are people that have been around forever. And it's like, okay, I think that's what I'm talking about. Don't take these well-known, well-versed superheroes. People have seen Superman's origin enough fucking times. We know he crashes into the planet, is found by two loving parents, and is super fucking strong. We watch Smallville. No one cares. How many times can we watch baby Bruce watch his parents get shot, and then him go off and become Batman? First of all, give the guy some fucking Prozac. I'm sick of them already. Someone call up Catwoman. He is not getting laid enough. I know what happens when you don't get laid enough. You get grouchy, you get miserable, and you get an ego the size of an airplane carrier. Necro. Anyways,
Why are you gonna do that?
Because he's allowed to do it back to me, and he's done it before. No, but seriously though, the problem is that they're shooting for all the well-knowns, and the problem is we've seen them. We know that Wonder Woman comes from an island full of Amazon, basically lesbians. Let's be honest with you. Mm-hmm. That create themselves out of clay. We all know that. Congratulations, Batman. We know his parents die, and they leave him with nothing but unlimited power and money, and somehow he still has a miserable childhood. Why the fuck isn't he Richie Rich?
Yeah.
What stopped him from becoming motherfucking Tony Stark? My parents got shot. My dad created weapons of mass destruction that murdered thousands of people, and then he died. The difference between you and me, I'm getting laid.
and then he created an element that saved my life. What did your dad left me a Gotham that I go around in a bad costume, beat up criminals, save my father's city.
You need some help with that? We got the fucking Avengers on speed dial. Hell, the Justice League's willing to step in. What's that? Hang on a second. Okay, the X-Men are on their way. Guardians of the Galaxy are landing right now. The Defenders are coming in from the left. We got this. No, it's my city. No, we got this, man. We got this.
Sit down.
I don't let you! Just like, just jumps at Tony Stark, just grabs him with Iron Suit. You are not an intelligent man.
Oh, you know what? Actually, and I just thought of this. All right, a different thing. When we get the Fantastic Four back, we could or when Disney does, they could potentially set up, intersect with the Marvel universe and the multiverse. Okay, they can set up for the Future Foundation for with Homecoming.
Right. Well, the thing is,
there's one problem with that.
What's that?
Fox ain't giving that up.
Oh no, Fox. Well, Fox is actually getting ready to sell the rights to Deadpool, and they know they can't. They're not going to make money off of it with the Fantastic Four. They know they're not going to make money off of it. So if Disney's willing to offer them a big enough check, Fox will sell it off. Because Fox is not doing good right now. Fox is actually doing pretty poorly.
Yeah.
Especially with all the scandals from Fox News.
Mm-hmm.
They're failing. They're about to lose their rights to The Simpsons, which is basically the only thing that's holding them on the network. So I mean, it's a matter of time before they give it up. And when they do, here's the thing Disney's got to do. And Disney, if you're listening, please just take 2 seconds. Turn your brain off and listen to what we're about to say. Follow the fucking storyline! It's not hard! Make a good Fantastic Four movie!
Or at least if you're gonna do something new, at least try to make it original enough and interesting enough, and don't just follow another cliche formula and then say, hey, we just did something fucking new.
Yeah. Instead of them all being white, we're gonna throw a black guy in.
Don't change one actor and then say just because this guy is this guy, that's something new. And it's just like, okay, fine. If you're gonna remake Johnny Storm, then remake Johnny Storm. Don't half-ass it. Don't say like, all right, now he's da da da. Okay, what else?
Right.
Oh well, he's now more of a smartass. Yeah, Johnny Storm's always been a smartass.
Right.
What else? Are we going to see him fight alongside Spidey? No. Why don't Homecoming make a cameo?
Well, I got a really good idea actually. Here's another one idea. Skip the fucking intro. Exactly. We don't need to know how the Fantastic Four became.
Yes.
Their original song explained it. Just play. You know what? Get the rights to the original song where they went into space and the cosmic rays. Mm-hmm. Just play it. Just play the original theme, and then start off somewhere. Have them fighting against, I don't know, Mogul, or Mole Man, or any number of the fucking thousands upon thousands of villains they actually had. Have Doctor Doom be the Lord of Latveria. Mm-hmm. Make him a badass. Don't make him a pussy.
Yeah, and have him fight off against a different villain other than Doctor Doom.
Right, it's always Doctor Doom. The Mogar. They could jump on any of the frickin' any of the Marvel villains because they are all in the same universe.
Silver Surfer.
Oh yeah, we could bring. Well, no, he's been done to death.
Sure.
Silver Surfer's been done to death. We can stop with Silver Surfer. We don't need that. What else? I do like what you're talking about, but I also side with the fact that I think what Hollywood's doing wrong is we've seen the intros.
Yeah.
Every time. We know. Okay? We know what happens to the Flash. Mm-hmm. We know it. We know somehow he's messing around with chemicals. By the way, in case people don't realize it, the Flash is actually a professor. He's actually very intelligent. I don't know why they portray him as some idiotic jackass constantly, but he's actually a very super intelligent man. One of the smartest of the DC Nation, too. But anyways, he's mixing around chemicals, and as the chemicals fall on him, a lightning bolt, somehow missing the lightning post, and the building itself, goes through a glass window with no metal attached to it, and then strikes him and the chemicals, and that's how the Flash is made.
Yep.
I can't figure it out. I still think it was I think Zeus was just having a bad day. He's like, you know what, humans? Oh, Oh, that's gonna cost me.
Oh, I'll show you. Here's a rainstorm, and now some random thunderbolts.
No, here. What happened was Thor got really drunk, jumped into DC.
Storm was drunk, and she was just fucking Logan up in the sky. Yes! Lightning bolts everywhere. I'm just saying, like, as far as superhero entries, that's a pretty bad one. How about we bring in Plastic Man? Okay? Plastic Man is basically the DC version of Mr. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Except he's an ex-criminal who's pretty intelligent, and he's just Plastic Man. He's a joke character, but you can make a movie out of him. I want to see the chronicles of two very, very important superheroes that don't get enough recognition. I want to see the chronicles of Blunt Man and Chronic.
Yeah, doesn't he? Well, doesn't Plastic Man team up with Batman in a few?
Oh yeah, and he eventually becomes a member of the Justice League. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he's a sideline character. Not a lot is known about him, and he's just vague enough that you could make a story out of him.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I'm trying to say, is like we've seen Logan.
I want to think that that's the direction that DC movies are kind of heading in. You know, because now that they've seen Marvel take like B-list superheroes and obviously have some type of success with them,
right?
You know, I would like to. I would like to think that. Well, which one though are you talking about?
About them actually trying to go to B-list.
They did. What do you think the Defenders are?
No, I meant DC.
Oh,
they have not yet.
Not yet, but they might. And
well,
that might be award-winning. That might be great.
Know, like, if you're following their pattern, you know, they haven't introduced all the members of the Justice League, and now, like, 2 movies later, we're now getting a Justice League thing.
Well, yeah, but they're still missing half the people.
Exactly. And so now they're seeing Marvel have success with, like, minor characters, and so we might actually see minor DC characters get movies.
I don't think we'll see it for another couple of years, though.
But we can hope, man. We can hope.
Because
I want to see a Bizarro movie. Bring out Bizarro Superman. I want to see him fight Superman. He has Night Vision and Fire Breath.
DC is a fucking decade behind.
But they can catch up.
They can.
The thing is that right now, if you look at their lineups, DC is going to start pushing out a lot more movies than Marvel is.
Oh, yeah.
So they might be able to push up, but the problem is that DC is following this one direction that is literally one-directional. If you look at some of the original Marvel characters' intros, we have Thor, a lot of the time he's walking around in the sunshine. There's some rain every now and then when he gets his butt kicked. Captain America, snowstorms. You know, the backgrounds are ever-changing. They're different locations, they're different environments. And then you look at DC. Constantly dark, constantly rainy, constantly miserable. Even in the Wonder Woman flick was constantly dark. They're bringing it as constantly nighttime. It's as if the sun was blown out by somebody. It's like Superman went up there and was like, it's too hot. That's better. I would like to see someone take some of these B-list heroes and make them into movies. Because, just like we've both agreed on, it would work. You know, how many people know the actual background story of Captain Boomerang?
Not a lot.
Right? He's a villain, but you know what? He's an interesting villain. He's a Flash villain. Not a lot of villains out there can claim themselves to be Flash villains. Flash mainly has Batman villains.
Now that you brought it up, I think that when they do make a Flash movie, the perfect villain that you would obviously need to go up against is Captain Cold.
Damn straight. That's his arch nemesis. He's got to go up against Captain Cold. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's just Mr. Freeze. Now, Captain Cold's a completely different asshole. Literally, he is an asshole. He's using stolen technology to steal. Mr. Freeze created this crap. Mr. Freeze has well-planned out thoughts. Captain Cold just does whatever the hell he's thinking about. That's what the Flash hates about him. Because he can't predict them. He's like, I'm going to rob a bank today, and then I'm going to go to a Dairy Queen tomorrow. I'm not going to rob it. I'm going to have myself some burgers. But then the following day, I'm going to rob an old boat. So, why? I don't know. It just seems like it'll work.
Because I can.
No. As long as they don't go and make another Suicide Squad movie.
If they do, they better do it right.
They didn't do it right the first time. They can't make a second one. As far as box office flops go, that was one of them.
The Jay Leto Joker.
The I'm trying too hard to be a Joker.
That only saw 20 minutes.
Well, that's the thing that I hated about it. They literally filmed over an hour's worth of content with it. Now, don't get me wrong, it would have made the movie a lot longer. But he's a great actor. And people say that a lot of the stuff that they threw out was some of his best stuff. Why they throw it? Oh, we have to cut down time. How about extend the time? Give people proper background stories. How about rather than just creating the Suicide Squad like you did, how about you create little individual movies to explain who these fuckers are? Yeah. No one knows who the Enchantress is. I had to look her up. I didn't even know who she was. I knew who El Diablo was. I knew who Killer Croc was, Captain Boomerang. I knew all of them. Katana, I knew her. Hey, it's great, cool. They're bringing back some super villains and heroes from the past, but nobody has a clue who half these characters are. They don't know what they do, and they just throw them in like the first 20 minutes, which, as the Nostalgia Critic stated, is literally what the movie is. The first 20 minutes are basically a bunch of people sitting at a table discussing supervillains.
Yep.
And by the way, I'm sorry, I don't care how good the storyline was to some people. The idea of, if Superman attacks us, we're going to use a bunch of supervillains to fight him. Well, which ones are we going to use? Well, we're going to use the guy with the boomerang, the crocodile that he could bench press with his pinky, the guy who can create fire, which he's immune to, the girl who has magic but has to constantly be dancing and have vision to be able to stop him, which she can move faster than a speeding bullet, and Harley Quinn. Oh, and a guy that's really good with bullets, which bounce off his skin. I got an idea. How do we go for the actual villains that are a threat to him? You're probably a rogues gallery I could take down with a rifle. There's not a member of that team you can't take down with a high-powered rifle. That's it. It's over.
And apparently either Lex Luthor has a monopoly on kryptonite or something like that. But, like, you would think that with all the kryptonite shit that they come up with, there's, like, some kind of depot just hidden somewhere.
Home villain.
It's just like they shoot all their soldiers up with, like, kryptonite gauntlets, like kryptonite bullets and shit like that.
Well, the reason Lex doesn't do it, and the reason he hoards it, is because he wants to be the guy who takes down Superman.
He wants to be the guy who takes down God.
That. Just kill him. I'd kill him. If I were Lex Luthor, I'd just kill him. I'd get a bunch of soldiers armed with guns, all filled with kryptonite. I would say, Superman, come take me, and I would just have them shoot.
He wants a winning stratagem.
He
doesn't want to kill Superman because he wants Superman to be alive to, endure the humiliation of, like, having Lex Luthor say, yeah, a normal human conquered you.
I wonder how Lex felt after Batman beat him. You think Batman flew up and be like, hey, Lex, I beat Superman.
Oh, you know he was tossing and turning and banging his android, he was banging the shit out of his android robot. Or is it? Yeah, his secretary android or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was banging it, like, fucking Superman. No, he's like, Batman.
Yeah, Batman knocks on the window. Hey, Lex. It's just like smacks on the window. I beat Superman.
He puts on this, like, defogger or something like that, and he just sees in, like, the grease, I beat Superman. And, like, no, my butler beat Superman.
Oh!
Ooh, I don't even know who your butler is.
You just know that Lex was just 18 levels of pissed off at that point in time. That's great, though. That's hilarious. Speaking of characters I want to see in a movie, I want to see Lobo in a movie.
Yeah, Lobo deserves his own
I want to see Lobo in the movie in the worst possible way. The main man.
It could be just like we're Deadpool, where they just have complete fun with it all together, and it's just like Lobo just doing Lobo shit.
What's Lobo going to do? He's going to ride on his space hog, fuck a few dozen alien races, and just murder people for money. That's him. Lobo is a simple, lovable character. And, once again, the main man.
The main man.
I just love that. Who are you? I'm Lobo, the main man. And you're Superman, the loser man. And Superman's like, are you being serious here? I'm here to beat you. No, that's not how this works. Fight me or else what? I'll ride around the city really loud. Because Lobo tries not to kill people he considers lower than him. He has morals too. He doesn't like killing children. He doesn't, except for his own race. He killed his entire race.
That was my favorite episode of Justice League, where Superman disappeared and Lobo came in and took his place.
He's fighting the one guy that goes, hold these for a second, just slams a car together on him. Makes this big explosion. just beats the ever living. Even Lex is like, Lex opens up his window and just sees him beating him. He's like, today's a bad day to go outside. Closes the window and just goes back to probably banging his freaking android.
One of my favorite episodes was when him and Superman get caught by that collector dude or whatever.
The collector, yeah.
Or what? I forget what his name was. All right, but he has like 2 like android robots, and he's just like, we're gonna escape that. Just hold on for a second, and then they go to like. Oh, they go to open their mouths, and then the gas comes in. He just like takes the hose and just like ties them up, and he just like, like right here, he's like, yeah.
Got a big smile, like
as they like explode.
That was like his thing. Like he was like he's Superman mixed with Spider-Man. He's a sarcastic asshole.
He's just a big biker dude.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like,
he loves the party. He loves the drink. He loves to have a good time.
You're not so tough, and Level just like pops out behind him. You're not good looking. You're not as good looking as me either. Turns around and bam. Mitzelplex. We need to get Mitzelplex in a movie too.
Who would play Lobo?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a lot of makeup, but Lobo would have. He'd have to be some rocker. We'd have to get some rock star to do it.
I don't know. Like for whatever I see, maybe get Danny Trejo. Do you think Danny Trejo could?
He could pull it off. He'd have to break his rule of only playing, and no insult here, Mexican stereotypes. Because let's face facts. The only movies he ever seems to play in anymore are movies where he's... What's that guy's name? Machete, yeah. And it's always the same thing. He always ends up beating up a bunch of super trained soldiers with gardening utensils. I mean, every movie ends up with him doing that. And he's a one-liner, too. So, like, when he beats somebody with a garden hose, like, you always were a hoe. It's like, ah! This is stuff I would expect from Rambo, not you, alright?
Well, what about Jason Statham?
Too serious. Jason Statham is way too serious.
Okay.
I'd throw Arnold Schwarzenegger before I'd throw him.
Yeah, I'm just tossing names out.
But he could. But Trejo could work. Trejo could definitely work. He's definitely got the mentality and the build for it. So I mean, like that's working in his favor.
Yeah, I guess we can just come back to that one.
I don't know. Maybe Nicolas Cage could.
No.
No?
Nicolas Cage is no longer able to be in any superhero movies.
Hi, I'm Nicolas Cage. I'm Lobo.
I'm Ghost Rider. I'm Lobo.
Don't mess with me. I'm the main man.
I'm Rubber Man. That's him. He doesn't have the capability of having those chops. He's just like,
I played a wizard and I barely did any wizard things.
Touche.
Harry Potter is a more competent wizard than my wizard was, and I was supposed to be the Grand Wizard of the world. That's saying something.
I was going up against Morgan Maffei. Like,
and somehow his dreadlocks kicked my ass. I can't figure it out.
I gave my powers to an idiot.
And even he couldn't save me. You know who I also want to see? I want to see somebody make a remake of the Twilight series, but I want to see everyone get reverse gendered. I think it would be more interesting to see a movie like that.
You want a bland dude where like a bunch of chicks fight all over him? Hey, that sounds like real life. bland dude that's sparkling. Oh no, please don't fight over me.
And then have the obvious better choice sitting there trying to be your best friend and you just keep friend zoning him.
The big friend zone.
Yeah, but we have to find an actor who can be as bland as she was. Because she doesn't know how to act. I don't care what anyone says. She does not know how to act.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage. He's reverse Bella.
Hi, I'm Bill.
Hi, I'm just Belle.
The name's Belle.
Why you guys are always fighting over me?
This is me showing emotion. Now I'm angry. Can you tell?
Stop fighting over me. Vampires and werewolves can get along with each other.
Well, what we should also do is we should change them from vampires and werewolves to something else.
How about we do squirrels and wombats? And do like an Australian theme.
No. We make it animated. We make it animals. We make it cats and dogs. And the main male leaves a rabbit.
Hi, I'm Nicolas Cage the rabbit.
You don't get it. Dogs eat rabbits. I don't want to hurt you. No, I love you.
It's like I want to cuddle you in like a non-violent way, and that's just weird for me.
To stop this for a split second, you know what I find weird? I find weird how many people have made porn of the movie Zootopia.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Like, it was like I decided to do the whole Rule 34 run a few weeks ago, and I was typing in like different Disney movies, and oh my god, do not look up Tarzan. It's terrifying. There's a lot of him being attacked by a cat thing, the saber.
Oh, Sabor.
Sabor, yeah. But, and I typed in, like, oh, this has got to be simple. This cannot be that much, because the movie hadn't even come out yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, in Zootopia. Boom! Comic book series written on that already. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me! Don't even get me started on My Little Pony.
You know,
the level of porn on that is just amazing. Like, bloody, like, terrifyingly amazing. Like, this show is meant for children. You've made me sad levels.
You know, that isn't... I'm actually starting to think, though. Alright.
Uh-oh.
Have you... I smell smoke?
Ouch. Ouch.
Oh, are you finally starting to chime in there, Wally Wombat?
Yep.
What about Danny Phantom? Does anyone think Danny Phantom could make a nice live action? I am the Box Ghost. It has to have Box Ghost. You know who has to play him? Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito's got to play the Box Ghost. I am the Box Ghost. Woo! Perfect character right there.
It should be Louis Black. Louis Black, just the cameo.
I'm the Box Ghost.
Like, you know what? Out of all the things I could have haunted, they put me in a box.
We need to have Christopher Walken play Vlad. Vlad Plasmius.
You know, I could see it.
I know.
Honestly. I could see him playing, like, maybe a way older Vlad.
You know who we also thought of when we were talking about our one discussion about the Borderlands movie? Mm-hmm. Christopher Walken's as Handsome Jack. He'd make it. He'd make it. Like, Christopher Walken needs to be put into movies where he's a main character now. We need to find one where he's actually capable of being the main character, because it's been so long. He has this... I can hear it in the background. I started laughing again. I'm sorry. There's all kinds of other ones. You know, there's no Supergirl movie coming out. There's no Martian Manhunter movie coming out. How about Apache Chief? Apache Chief's awesome. I love the Apache Chief.
Apache touch.
In that chunk.
I'm sorry. In that chunk.
And then he grew to this giant size, and it's just like, well, time to kick some ass. He was like Ant-Man, except he also had magical powers. He could create weapons and shit like that. I mean, he was pretty up there. And Black Lightning, I mean, dude, literally, he was Static Shock on steroids. And a family man. Martian Manhunter has one of the greatest storylines of all time.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just so many others that you can look at. I mean, let's make a Fairly Odd Parents movie. With the chin. Here comes the Crimson Chin.
I actually do like... I kind of do like the art style of the Fairly Odd Parents.
I liked it up until they started throwing new characters in. Like, the little baby was cute, and then they brought in a dog, and he went mysteriously missing. And then they brought in another child because there was a fairy shortage, but she was like happy-go-lucky and had everything in her way. It's like, I don't understand. Kids Next Door needs to make a movie.
You know what movie that I've seen everybody kind of want, but at the same time I'm kind of still up against the wall about? Because I'm not like, you ever wonder about a Zelda movie?
Yes, and I actually we've already had an idea about this. Yep. I know exactly who I want to play the characters. First of all, young Link dies at the beginning of the movie. And so does the fairy, and their places are taken by two characters, Jay and Silent Bob. Silent Bob plays Link, who's always quiet, and then you have
Jay be the fairy.
The fairy. Yo, look at this. Yo, look at this.
I'm not gay.
I'm not gay. Oh, I can just imagine, like, you know, like in the beginning of Ocarina of Time, where they have to like figure out how to burn through the spiderweb, just like seeing this like smoking of a blunt, like just drop it. Like, oh! I was like, oh, that worked. All right. Hey, look over there. Come on, I mean, just imagine them meeting the Zoras for the first time, and Jay be like, yo, I don't know about you, but I smell something.
It's like Bob, yo, look, you're gonna tap some of that fishy people, yeah, you fat fuck. Of course you would.
And then like in the next movie where they go into the future, like they go, well, we gotta wait 7 years, so and it's like, and it's like you have the Metal Gear Solid 5 music playing in the background where he's like smoking from the pipe and time's just flying ahead of time, and it's like, oh, that's the good shit. And then finally they like, meet back with Princess Ruto, and she's just like a freaking smoking babe, and Bob just looks at Jay.
Bob,
and he just like pushes him into the water. He's like, and then, like when she finally becomes a sage, Jay's like, you know, I know you wanted to taste her fish taco, but it just wasn't meant to be. And then have Jay just smile at him, and he's like, you didn't.
I know. It's like, yo, man, I know you wanted to lick that tartar sauce out of that. You ever get go down on?
You ever get gone down by a green tunic? hey! You ever had a green tunic wearing fat guy go down on you? No, didn't think so. But now you can see. Now you can see how good the movie would be. I also have an idea for a Metroid movie that has a cameo from Deadpool. Just have her like going through like one of those like ancient ships. Like she opens up a door and it's like Deadpool and it's like, I'm a big fan, love your games, and just like slams the door shut and she opens up and he's just gone. Or have some part where she's like watching a bunch of those space aliens walking through like in footsteps, and in like one of the rows you see Deadpool marching with them going, hi, I'm Deadpool. Now, you can add comedy to a serious movie as long as you know how to do it proper.
Oh yeah.
The movie I want to see get remade is a movie that I've been shunned for. I've had people boo me for it. I've had people go, no, it should just be left buried where it is. I want to see somebody remake the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah,
and do it right this time.
They didn't need to use like real actors. They should have just kept it either a cartoon.
No, I think they could use real actors. The problem is the setting. The setting for the Mario Brothers is this beautiful utopian world known as the Mushroom Kingdom. Instead of what looks like they just threw a freaking shroud over Brooklyn. That's what it basically looked like. It was just everyone was a thief, everyone was a grunt, and it's just like the Goombas, who are, you know, little chestnut people, were, you know, 8-foot-tall reptiles. Couldn't figure that one out. Why wasn't Bowser this big fire-breathing dragon demon? You know, you didn't get that. They took the entire storyline and the guy goes, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna fuck over any chance of Nintendo ever making another movie. And they succeeded!
Like Final Fantasy Spirits Unlimited.
Oh, threw up in my mouth a little there. I like to just call that the Spirits Within. I kind of cut out.
Within or something
I kind of cut out the first part, because if I watch it as just the Spirits Within, it's actually a good movie. But if I think it's a Final Fantasy movie, I vomit a little in my mouth.
Yeah, they all die, and you know she's like, I got the 13th ghost in me all along. I'm cured, and then the guy's just like, yeah, I'm still gonna die anyway.
Yeah, the Ragnarok's about the firework anyway. Sorry.
The Zeus cannon.
The Zeus cannon, which was on the Ragnarok ship. Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah. Hey, we saved the. Well, ain't that a kick in the head?
What?
And for you, boot to the face. You know, there's so much chance for movies to come out to be big budget. Metal Gear Solid could be amazing if done right.
I thought they did. They did make a live action Metal Gear Solid.
No, they made an animation, but they never made a live action.
Oh, they never made it?
Nope, it got shut out of the works.
That's
well, that's only because the lead was still there. He's no longer with the company, so they can now officially do it.
Right.
God of War could be a great movie if done properly. Devil May Cry could be amazing if done properly.
Yeah, but Devil May Cry already had like a successful anime.
Oh yeah, it did. But that didn't stop them from making a Dragon Ball movie. And please, let's not talk about that movie.
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Let's just call that failure and just move on.
Hey, Geeku.
Geeku. Kick your ass.
It's like, dude, I have chi, but I'm just gonna act like a bullied teenager.
Yeah,
instead of like an absent-minded country hillbilly.
I'm sorry, I've read enough Spider-Man to know that I'm not supposed to just single-handedly whoop your asses. But I could. I'm just gonna pretend you're actually beating me up. Ow, ow. Why does Piccolo look like a fucking stupid-ass monster?
Why is Chi-Chi like the freaking the high school heartthrob?
Why isn't she out living in the middle of nowhere with her freaking father, the Ox King, in the fucking
Ox
palace? Yeah, whatever happened to that part?
And then somehow have Mai, but not include Shu and Pilaf.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, we don't need them. We have Piccolo.
Piccolo.
Who got his ass kicked really hard. Well, let's make Goku the ultimate destroyer because nobody has ever seen the anime before. Except for those 50 million angry fans coming at us with pitchforks and torches. Anything cool? Nothing's cool?
What are you talking about there?
No, I said, is everything cool? And you're like, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You meant about the chat.
I don't know. How's the chat going?
Me.
Oh, cool. Swiggly Sooty coming for that booty. Big O could be a great movie. I know there's talk of them making a live action of that, but that could be a good movie.
But here's the thing, like, the difference between, and I kind of touched on it before, real life or, 3D animation or cartoon. Like, do you think that has an effect on, like, how well a movie can be made?
I do.
Like, do you think, like
because there's an expectation.
Would there ever be, though, an anime that would be a lot better in real life than it would be a cartoon?
I can think of a few. I can only think of a few, though, and that's because...
and I'll be honest, because aside from the Netflix version, I really do think that, because it's been done before, Death Note could be a really good live-action show.
Oh, yeah, it could, if they did it right.
If they did it right.
The problem is that they tried to cram all of Season 1 into one show. That's basically what they did. And then they had to put an ending on it.
Not to mention they got the characters wrong.
Oh, yeah, they screwed it up. Look at Ghost in the Shell. Box office bomb.
Oh, but here's the thing. Tommy Wiseau, very good Ryuk.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Oh, yeah. But once again, it comes to the expectations. If I go to a movie expecting to see a superhero movie,
right?
Okay, you're making a superhero movie. You're making it for superhero fans. But at the last minute, you're like, but there's some that aren't going to be superhero fans. So let's throw something in there that's for them.
Yeah.
Okay, now you've thrown it in for them, but you've taken away from one demographic, and that's the larger demographic. And that's the problem that a lot of these superhero movies have. We got to make it so everyone can watch it. Yet a majority of the people going to see this, and I mean a majority of the people who are going to see these movies, are geeks who've read the books. You cannot skimp on important details. We will pick them out. We will pick them out like the Doctor Strange. I forgot what it was all about because I had one of my blank moments. Nick watched it the other night, and he's like, well, they got rid of Dormammu, which is his main villain.
Do you think, though, like, if, let's say, like, when they do make a comic book hero movie, like, because I know this does get brought up, do you think that the more that they stay true to the comic book movie, do you think that alienates the audience between the comic book readers and people who are just coming to see it for the first time?
Well, you see, that's where the issue comes in. You see, these people who are coming to see it for the first time have no idea what they're coming to see. So if you make it based on the comic book, then they're watching the exact same thing that everybody else is.
Because I used to be in the camp where, like, I actually did believe that. And so that's why if they decided to do, like, a certain part different, I would at least try to look at, okay, well, then why did they have to change it? And if the answer to the why was, like, if it was just not, like, a waste of time or something like that, I would feel like that both sides miss out. You know what I'm saying? Like, all it takes is just for one bad idea to just ruin a scene completely. And just, you know, like, obviously an exaggerated version of that would be the Ninja Turtles.
Right.
It's an example of, you know, how many things you can get right. You know, I would still keep the characters and how they look, I just give it a different writer or a different director.
Or a different story altogether.
Or a different story, yeah, and when that comes with a different writer.
Right, but I mean that's what I'm talking about. The problem is, hey, we got to make this relatable to the people in the audience. Not the let's just say that 80% of the audience are people who are going there to see a superhero movie.
Right.
Well, then why alienate 80% of your audience rather than just alienate 20%?
But now, like, what I mostly think of that, though, I think that, at least in the case of superhero comic book movies, you can get away with that. Like, you can get away with just appealing, because that's the only people that are going to want to see it. You know, are people who are familiar with whether or not they're coming from the cartoon or another thing,
right,
or another source or whatever. Like, you can cater to the comic book crowd and still, you know, stay true to some things that happen in the storyline. The actual storyline.
Well, I mean, just look at movies like The Green Lantern. What a horrible box office flop. But you know what really destroyed it? The negative reviews from people who said how untrue it was to the comic books. Superman vs. Batman. Why did that get destroyed? Because of all the negative reviews from
Martha.
Right. The big issue is, once again, if 80% of the people are going expecting the movie to be a superhero movie and 20% have no clue what they're fucking seeing, do not alienate the 80%.
I do feel, though, like, at least in movies like Batman vs. Superman, like, I find myself, like, at least when they do the action scenes, like, for me, when I saw the action scenes, and they finally get to see the fight between Batman and Superman, you know, and I was just like, okay, yeah, this is pretty fucking cool. I'm getting into this right now. It's kind of like, okay, I went through, I took the plunge, and I watched Dragon Ball Evolution, just to, you know, for my own curiosity, alright? When you get past all the bullshit, and then you finally, like, it's just like, there's just not a single thing of Dragon Ball Z. And then when you get to that final battle between Piccolo and Goku, and they start you know, hitting each other back and forth, and you see, like, the flying battles, and, like, my head kind of picked up a bit, you know, because I was just like, oh my god, is this actually going to be, you know, and they even had it perfectly. Goku sitting there, come in, and then Piccolo just like, oh, the demon wave, and then they had to ruin it by, like, Goku just jumping up, and then, like, he blasts the Kamehameha wave, and then he, like, does, like, this, like, it looked like he did, like, this slice or whatever, and he, like, gets it. I'm like, no! You had the beam struggle! How did you forget the fucking beam struggle?
Well, once again, that's what I'm talking about. When you do something right, you got to be careful with what you do. A plain example is, and I'll throw another one out there, Transformers. Transformers, in a nutshell, is about two groups of alien robots who are fighting for supremacy. One group wants to enslave the human race, kill all the Autobots, and take all the slaves back to Unicron. The other half, the Autobots, want to stop the Decepticons from doing this and make peace with the humans. That's it. It's pretty simple. It's cut and dry. That's the storyline. Not 70 minutes plus of human interactions and then 15 minutes of fight scenes. No, we do not need that. We don't need that. You want to know how Michael Bay could really do it? Michael Bay, if you're listening, you're a jackass, but still, make an entire movie where it's just the Decepticons and the Autobots fighting each other. You like explosions? Just make it happen. Have the war on Unicron. That would be awesome.
Or, you know what, if you're going to spend so much time like shooting the American military or something like that, and if you're just going to say, fuck it, fucking just do whatever you want, why don't you just say, like, in a later fucking in a later movie, like, the Americans make their own Transformer?
That works.
I
mean, they don't need to worry about it. They have that little cube that when they touched the ground, it brought a car to life, it brought a soda machine to life, it brought a Walkman to life. It's not hard. Hey, you know what? I'm going to go bring this scooter to life.
You can have all the bombs, you know, you can have, like, a flamethrower.
Or have them build their own robots to fight against the Decepticons. Yep. But what it comes down to is these movies that are coming out are just cash grabs anymore. Unless it's coming from Disney, it's just cash grabs. Disney still actually puts their heart and soul into making movies. I watched Zootopia. I picked up on the subtle story. Mm-hmm. I picked out that it was actually based on the history of the United States back in the 1950s when the FBI gave out that drug to the minorities. Was it crack? Same thing in the movie. They had a different thing that made the people look freaky and they feel scared of them. But that's what the kids didn't pick up on that. They picked up on the cute rabbit girl and the sly fox guy trying to save the world from the bad guys.
And you know what, though? I do think, though, I do like how they approached it, and they still did it anyway, because they don't really need to have that in-depth view, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They could just see what's going on in the movie, and mm-hmm. because the actors do such a good job, just, you know, portraying their own character, you know, and they get the message.
Mm-hmm. But then again, you have somebody who's going to make another Annabelle movie. There's another Saw movie coming out.
Yeah.
There's another Halloween coming out. You know, these characters that are just... How many times can you see people in a dusty motel room being murdered by strange devices because they did something stupid?
And you know, no, but like, what is stupid though? It's just like, when we do get somebody, you know, who tries to go and do something different, right? They always do, and you know, it's kind of like what they did in Devil May Cry 4 with Nero. It's just like, okay, here's Nero. He's just like Dante. He looks exactly like Dante. He's a cocky kid.
He just has different powers.
Yeah, he just has a demon arm, and it's just like, okay, yeah, that's cool. You gave him a demon arm, and he plays differently, you know. But it's just like it's still though, like, why they kept them the same because they were afraid that they would like divide their audience.
So what you're saying is what happened when they made Devil May Cry.
When they made Devil May Cry,
and they just completely changed the character.
Their point was proven though, like because remember, people were complaining like, you know, well, why Nero's just a copy of fucking Dante. Yeah, well, there's a reason for that. Then DMC comes out, everybody freaks out because Dante fucking looks different.
Looks, act, is.
Look to act, yeah, and then it's just like, well, you see. That's why we don't get any different. So to them, it's just like they force people to just be in a rock and a hard place. I didn't think Nero was that bad.
No, he wasn't. He was cool.
How do you expect them to be like? Because we didn't even get a full fleshed out Dante until it took us till like the third Devil May Cry to finally get a Dante. That it was just like, this is cool. This is what Dante is. Mm-hmm. He's not like in Devil May Cry 2. You know, where he just gets all serious and he's just like, let's flip a coin, heads or tails, you know. So,
huh?
You were looking.
No, I'm just looking around.
Yeah. So I just feel like some characters they suffer. Like it's understandable like why they don't stray too far from being completely different, because then you get an incident like DMC.
And that's what I'm saying when it comes to these movies that are coming out, where they stray away from what a character truly is. Wonder Woman, they strayed away from. Yes, it was a box office hit, as far as DC movies go. But Stephen King's remake of It made 4 times the money they did already. And it hasn't even been out as long as it has. And the main thing that shot down Wonder Woman was, why did they change Wonder Woman?
I've never seen the movie, as I said before. So I can't really follow up on you with that. But I would just say this, okay? Even with a character changing, and I even said this with New Dante, okay? As long as it, like, maintains the spirit, you know, and at least tries, I mean, yeah, it's not going to be a success, and probably is going to be a failure, but at least if you can see the spirit of the character.
I saw no spirit in DMC.
I
did not.
I saw, like, okay,
I saw a failure from the beginning.
They tried, and I will say,
where did they try?
They tried in his attitude, but the thing is that it always comes down to, yeah, but it's still him just saying fuck you. Okay, yeah, I get it, but you can tell though it was kind of still there. It wasn't the Dante that exactly. It wasn't the. It's not Dante.
It's not him at all.
And I would not pick, and that's not who I would picture to be Dante. You know, but I still see that they tried.
Yes, but a fail is a fail, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah, because the internet. The
internet
is very unforgiving.
Well, so is the world.
Well, it's not. I'm not talking about the world. I'm just saying, like, look. Most of the pressure, though, like again, this is just what I'm concerned about. Okay, that may be part of the reason why creativity is constantly blocked. You know, or they're afraid to do something. Is because of just how, like, just the
just the honesty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can believe in Wonder Woman if they can stand by her, but, like, most of the time, the reason why these characters do end up failing is because it's not just because they screw up, but they just never stand by them. Because, and you know that, because, have you seen in the different Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man followed a different formula with Tobey Maguire. Then it followed a different formula when it was Andrew Garfield. Yeah. Now we have this kid, I forget his name, and now they're, you know, they do something completely different. It's never like
But what I'm trying to say is try something new, as in try something new.
And yeah,
do not take an old idea and throw a new piece of paint on it. DMC could have probably been a rocking video game if they would have just changed its fucking name. They didn't need to have Dante and Virgil. They could have had Billy and Ray. They could have had Double Dragons cast in it. Because what people decided on, and this is the same thing with Resident Evil 7 all over again, is they saw the name and they expected A.
And I think
B.
that what could have made it work is that if DMC was treated as another prequel. And what I'm saying is just treat it as, okay, this is Dante way before he awakens and then becomes the Dante that we know.
Well, see, then that would make sense.
Exactly.
But according to...
But they don't.
Right.
It's just, it's not that, and that's why they, you know, ended up faceplanting.
I'm waiting to see how Dad of War does. Or the new God of War. I'm waiting to see how that does. Because they've already altered millions of things about the guy.
It's all third-person perspective. I'm wondering how that's going to work out.
Well, it's not just a third-person perspective, but like, here's the main thing about the God of War. He's an agile character who has long-range weapons. They can spin around and destroy everything on the battlefield. In Dad of War, he has a bow and arrow and an axe. No chains, nothing like that.
It's all like, it's very Norse.
It's like your Conan the fucking Barbarian.
Yeah.
And while it might work out, there's a lot of people that are like, and he's got his son with him now. So it's kind of going to be like a piggyback quest. Are we going to have another Resident Evil 4 where we have a character that we constantly got to watch over?
Well, I mean, or it could be like in BioShock Infinite where you actually see the character grow.
Well, yeah, but she's also so overpowered, it's ridiculous.
No, but okay, but then here's what I'm saying. Like, because as the story unfolds, Kratos can be turning them into, you know, becoming a man. You know, like learning how to shoot better, learning how to attack. And then
right, you got to look at it that way. But you also got to look at the way Kratos was originally portrayed. He was originally portrayed as a selfish asshole who didn't care about anything but vengeance. That's Kratos in a nutshell. That's all Kratos has ever been. Kratos literally has no personality. His personality is I killed my wife and kids and I want vengeance.
As far as we're concerned, though, we don't know even if it is his kid or not.
It is. They've announced it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, but they haven't announced the story, so we could be like, maybe Kratos found him and adopted him. Maybe maybe it is his kid. Like, but there is a reason, and that's what kind of the previews, you know, clue you in. There's a reason why Kratos is tolerating this kid. He's going out of his way to raise him. You know, maybe it is to seek redemption in a way, or maybe it is to use him. You know, but only kind of time will tell once the game is out.
Once again, you know, I have a lot of hopes for that game because a lot of the games recently that I've had hopes for have failed miserably. And the only other game that I have hope for right now comes out in exactly 1 month from today. If it does.
We're just not going to get a Steam version.
Huh?
There's not going to be a Steam version, though, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, there is?
I purchased it on Steam.
Oh, nice.
Although you have to go through Uplay to play.
Uplay, okay.
Which means I won't be able to play it half the time because Uplay's never fucking up. Which is already a screw-up on your behalf. I'm watching you. Also, people already have early copies right now. Like over in England, they released a month early.
Oh, wow.
So they're actually doing Let's Plays on it right now, and I'm refusing to watch any of them. In fact, I told Nick the other day, Nick was watching Destiny 2 videos and everything like that. Like, Nick, why are you torturing yourself like that? And he goes, oh, you do that with Fractured Butthole. I go, actually, I know nothing about it. I literally don't. I know that it's a turn-based strategy game. I know that you're based on superheroes now instead of the Dungeons & Dragons characters. And somehow, Douchebag, which was your original character, is the character you're still playing as. Mm-hmm. But how does that fit in? That's, I don't know. And I'm waiting for it because I'm going to literally play it blind. I'm going to do recordings on it blind. I've even already announced that I will not be coming in the day after it comes out. Because I'm probably going to be playing it most of the night. I will just be doing recording, just half-hour recordings. I'm just going to punch them out. Because that's what I want to do with it. That's what I was originally going to do with Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
And I remember what happened. I told Nick, when you come home, we're going to play Mighty Number 9. We're going to do a Let's Play on it. Everyone's going to love it. Nick's like, all right, I'll see you. Nick, you came home, and what was I doing at the time? Was I happy? Was I like sulking in my chair, kind of like looking at the end screen? Yeah, I beat the game in 5 hours.
Yeah,
it sucked. I spent over $100 on this game, and it was garbage.
Yeah,
so
I backed it too.
So my issue is right now when it comes to video games, I'm kind of nervous about them anymore. I used to be the guy that would go out and just pre-order. But then recently, Pokemon Sun and Moon let me down. Mighty Number 9 let me down. Heroes of Might and Magic 7 let me down. And now I'm getting to this kick where I'm actually to the point where I got to watch people like Markiplier and stuff. I got to watch these people so I can be like, is this a game I really want to play? Like, I heard about West of Loathing for a while, and I really wanted to play it, but I'm like, do I really want to play it, though? And then I watched Mark play it, and I'm like, you know what, I really want to play this. But that's just that. You know, the new Kingdom Hearts game's coming out soon. I'm pumped for that, because Necro's going to beat Kingdom Hearts 1, then he's going to beat Kingdom Hearts 2, and then he's going to jump into Kingdom Hearts 3. We're not going to do any of the side quests. We're not going to do 36 and a half days, or whatever the hell that one is. We're not going to do...
Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, we're going to skip those. Especially the one that has almost nothing to do with Sora. Which I believe is Birth by Sleep.
Birth by Sleep and Recoded.
And Recoded?
Recoded, well, it was a data version of Sora.
Oh, okay.
Like a little data mine thing.
We're going to stick with the ones that are going to be capable of Nick playing and beating. But, that's just that, you know. And it, just like movies, movies have just become disappointing me. I thought for a second that the new Godzilla movie that came out was going to be worth it. It wasn't. I used to love the idea of a new Transformers or TMNT coming out. Don't even look at them anymore. I thought Saw was a great premise for the first 2 or 3 movies, not the 9th or 10th. It's stale. And while I do see these people that are coming out with remakes upon remakes upon remakes, I go looking at them the same way I've gone looking at any remake. I look at it expecting the movie I grew up with, and I come home disappointed. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. 2 completely different movies. I went to one expecting the other. I did not enjoy myself.
Yeah, when my dad saw the remake, he was disappointed because the songs were changed.
Songs were changed. It was just a different movie. You know, there was no goose laying eggs. There was just squirrels and nuts. There was more potty humor, and it's just not stuff I needed. And that's why when I hear remakes, I mean, Nick's the same way. When you hear a remake, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
So far, the only one so far that has ruined that streak has been the new DuckTales show.
DuckTales show is really
which is awesome. And it has the same feel as the old one. But time will tell. So, folks, we've held you hostage for an hour and a half now, so we're going to let you all go. We'll pick up next week. We're going to do an actual episode. I have a couple ideas I'm going to run by these two and see which one we're going to pick. Hell, we might even do one later on in the week. You never know. We're random like that. Also, we're going to try and put out videos again. Work really just sucked this week. I didn't have any time to actually do it. So, I'm sorry about that. So, folks, until next time, I'm KaijuK.
Necro Nick.
Roadblock.
And we'll see you all in the future. Peace out, everybody.